Ladies and gentlemen, this is Lions Den with another news and commentary. This article comes from the Washington Post. Last night, dozens of officers injured in Memphis unrest after U.S. Marshals fatally shot a young black man. This black man is identified as Sonny Weber. Um, uh, so this is really just another case of miscarriage of justice and unarmed. He's more likely unarmed. So I'm gonna go ahead and read this, and I'm gonna continue and finish the rest of my commentary. It says news that a U.S. Marshal Service officer had fatally shot a young black man in Memphis triggered chaotic protests late Wednesday that caused widespread property damage and left at least 24 police officers injured by thrown concrete rocks. And the mayor Jim Strickland released a statement. He says, "Let me be clear: the aggression shown towards our officers and deputies tonight was unwarranted." And continues, says other local politicians though urge patience and demand thoroughly investigation into the killing. The community wants answers into tonight's incident, says Congressman Antonio Parkinson, who also called a complete transparency in the investigation of tonight's officer-involved shooting. So I'm going to explain to you guys what took place and what happened. It all started at 7 p.m. Central Time, and it says the shooting happened Wednesday night in Frayer, a neighborhood less than 5 miles north of downtown Memphis. The man killed, who was identified by a family member and local officials as 21-year-old Brandon Weber, was being served multiple felony warrants by the Marshal Service Gulf Coast Regional Fugitive Task Force and other law enforcement agencies, according to police. The suspect ran into the marshal's car and then displayed a weapon, said Kelly McAllister, a spokeswoman for the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation, in a news conference early Thursday. She added that it was unclear how many marshals had fired at the man. The Memphis Police Department said none of its officers were involved in the shooting. Okay, now I'm gonna say this, and after I read this article, I'm gonna continue, my commentary because I got a lot to say about this case. They said this remains a very fluid situation, McAllister told the Washington Post. Demetri Skinner, a cousin of Weber, and Shelby County Commissioner Tammy Sawyer each said that Weber was shot as many as 20 times. I'm gonna stop you right there. I want you guys to hear this. He's been shot 20 times before dying in his family front yard, according to the Daily Memphian. Um, Yolanda Holmes, his aunt, told the Daily Memphian that the family was trying to confirm what exactly happened. And now we're gonna. You heard the police version, or quote unquote, the U.S. Marshal spokesman's version of the incident. He said they claimed that he had a gun, and in other words, I feared for my life type tactic, and you know what happened there. So this is what the families said about this. He said that, quote, "This is crazy," Skinner, his cousin, told the outlet. Early on Wednesday night, a man who claimed to be close to Weber posted a video to Twitter of him confronting police officers who had formed a barricade in the streets. My cousin down there laying in the street," the man yelled, "laying in the yard." As night fell and news of the shooting begins to spread through Fraser, protests broke out and resulted in a standoff between authorities and hundreds of inflamed residents. On one side, police stood shoulder to shoulder holding riot shields. On the other were angry crowds shouting at officers. Some protesters hurled bottles, rocks, and bricks, police says. In one instance captured on social media, protesters used a chair to smash out the back window of a police car. Another man appears to be spitting at officers. Um, so, ladies and gentlemen, this is basically these are the two tweets. You're not going to see it because reaction had some. Reaction usually show tweets, but I guess this time they're not going to do that. But one tweet says, "Just saw two guys smash a police car with a chair." Another tweet by Katina Rankin says, intense moment in Frayer after an officer involved shooting with a U.S. Marshal. Police eventually fired tear gas in the area, which dispersed the crowd. A late night rainstorm further emptied the streets. And I'm gonna wait to reaction. Finish the complete article. You know, Okay, there we go. Sorry. It says in the statement released early Thursday, Strickland said that at least 24 officers and deputies were injured, with 6 taken to the hospital for treatment. He added that 2 journalists were also injured. WREG's Luke Jones said he was knocked to the ground after a man ran up and punched him in the head, while Rebecca Butcher, a local 24 News, tweeted that her photographer was also hit by someone in the crowd. Strickland said that multiple police cars were also vandalized, a concrete wall outside a business was torn down, and windows were broken out of a local fire station. The mayor praised first responders. I'm impressed by their professionalism and incredible restraint as endured concrete rocks being thrown at them. People spitting at them, he said in a Facebook post. Community and national leaders call for healing and justice. The NAACP said it was closely monitoring reports out of Fraser. Sawyer, a Democrat and progressive activist who was running for mayor in the October election, pleaded for the public not to pass judgment on Fraser without asking community how it feels to mourn their youth over and over again. What do we do with their pain and trauma when it gets to be too much, when a city was ignore them, when their loss is too great and they can no longer yell at the sky, she said. But sadness and anger serve as the overwhelming feelings for the community activist Hunter Dempster. He told the Memphis Commercial Appeal that Wednesday night's shooting should serve as another reminder of a broken public safety system. Every time I turn around, I see another person with tears in their eyes and fears at another life lost, Dempster says. That's the end of the article, ladies and gentlemen. Um, Yesterday, this is possibly, like I said, I live in Nashville now, right? So Memphis is like 3 hours away from here. So obviously, what we're seeing, this is another Ferguson, and obviously, the police claim that Brandon Weber, who was the victim in all of this, had a weapon, and now basically we really don't know what really happened. So what I'm about to do is I'm going to try to find a video of what happened. And of course, this is really a sad day for both sides. Now, the cousin claims that they said that the officer told, Brandon Fraser, to lay in the yard. Um, And so obviously, he said his cousin lying down there in the street. And the thing of it is that we really don't know if this is what the police version said, that he had a gun. We really don't know if that were true or not. So this is why I said that we need to, you know, I'm gonna be honest with the last story I did. We're gonna take a step back and wait for all the facts to come out before we remain judging. Now the police said, now we as the community feel that we can't trust what the police says anyway. So we're gonna find out what really happened. And like I said, I'm gonna get a video and I'm gonna post it right here on YouTube to show you the incident of what happened in Fraser. And and like I said, once I get that video, I will add it to part 2 of my story of the situation in Fraser, right, which is in Memphis. So leave a comment. Tell me what you think about this story. Like, click subscribe, and remember to click the notification bell for all the news and commentary. With that being said, this is Lions Den signing off. Deuces.